about somebody who has said something to you and it felt to you like this was a person who was checking their notes or making sure that they had the truth. Oops, but we actually have a Queen of Swords in the reverse. So when you double check or when you ask somebody else what's going on, you're able to realize that this is actually somebody who like right to your face lied. So I don't necessarily get that this is romantic, but we'll see what comes out. I do think that this is maybe more so on the friend, family, or like workplace side, but let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, as is more information on how to become a member. And you can also find out how to locate my candles on Etsy in the description box. Hello, Carrie. How are you doing today? I think we're going to start with the situations deck and see what kind of drama we're dealing with. What do we have? Sorry, I hope that wasn't too loud. I have too many candles sitting around. What do we have? Interview, talk, conversation, get on the same page. TikTok. I feel like this has to do with looking for a new job or maybe even buying a house. It could also be you're talking to your friend, trying to make sure that you have the right understanding of a situation, but it feels to me like there's a rush in part because there is, a deadline. Synchronicities and commitment. I think before someone agrees to sign a document, they feel like they have to do some research. Maybe this is like a prenup. Maybe this is a job offer. Maybe someone's offering to purchase your business. But there's a detail that's off. Someone who has lied. Nightlife, gamble, take a risk, Vegas. Lockdown, mental prison, confined. Yeah, this feels to me like somebody was hoping that they could avoid you finding out about something that they specifically tried to lie to you about. So it's not just a mission. It's like, I'm going to tell you something and I know that it's not true. Let's see what else we've got. We're going to go with the Cats Rule the Earth Tarot. Hello, Juliet. How are you doing? Hello, Tay. What's up? What else? Ace of Cups in the reverse, Six of Wands in the reverse, and the Ace of Wands. Yeah, this is saying you don't want to accept this offer. It's false in some way. Someone is trying to dress it up as a great opportunity. Like, oh, look, you're going to get everything that you're wanting. But then why is it a Six of Wands in the reverse? It's like someone who's telling you it's your dream job, but we also don't pay you for like the first 6 months. That's okay, right? You can make it work. You can. Hello, Danielle. There's something weird here. What else? Knight of Wands and the Three of Wands with the Three of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, someone is trying to hide or make it difficult for you to see what's really going on. They're hoping if they give you some sense of, hey, we really need to make sure that we have a job offer out by Friday. So if you could let us know what you think by the end of today, that would be great. There's like, I'm going to rush you to make this decision because then maybe you won't notice that the offer that I've made is actually kind of lacking. Hello, Danielle. Hello, James. Hello, Lemonade. How are you doing today? What else? Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords. The Chariot. They're rushing you and imposing a deadline, probably a fake one, or like they're padding it. They're making it more ridiculous than it needs to be, because if you don't have as much time to review the documents or to figure out who you're dealing with, then maybe you'll move forward with it without realizing that they've lied to you. Like, oh yeah, we'll pay you that amount, or oh yeah, you're getting that title, and then you look at the actual offer and it's different. Or, you know, someone offers to buy your house cash, and then they're talking about a loan, and you're like, wait a second, pretty sure we talked about it being cash. Two of Wands in the reverse, Ace of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. Number 3 seems to be real important. From this tarot deck, we've got the Three of Wands, Three of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles all on this right-hand side. I think you may not realize that there is another offer out there. Maybe for some of you this is romantic, and you just need to know there's more people interested in you. You don't have to settle. But if this is what I think for the majority of you it is, we're talking about a job situation. We're talking about whether or not you want to work here. Maybe for some of you it's about whether or not you want to marry into a family, and you're real concerned about the people that you would be dealing with if you were to pursue this relationship. Because it is about a group of people. It is not just two people. Yes, there's something being signed or a commitment here, but I feel like the issue is everything that comes along with that offer has not really been discussed, or has not been discussed honestly. Hello, Ashar. How are you doing? This is the Weird Cat Tarot. Hello, Nicholas. How are you doing? You're right, Lemonade. Sometimes I forget what day of the week it is. We have the Three of Wands in the reverse, the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah. So this feels to me like you know what you deserve. We have another 3, if you didn't recognize that. So now we've gotten all of the 3s. Oh, except for Three of Swords, excuse me. This is like, don't take action towards something until you see what it is that you want. You know what your worth is, whether you're looking at negotiating a salary or you're selling a home, 10 of Cups, or if you actually are talking to somebody about a long-term commitment in a romantic sense. Hello, Untamed. How are you doing? Hello, Living Life. I've only done like 3 sneezes in a row, but yes, I think you could probably say that that constitutes a sneezing fit. I have like kind of a high-pitched noise that I make when I sneeze, so it could be worse. We have the Emperor and the Hanged Cat. This is like, just hold off. Don't feel like you have to rush everything. This is someone who's rushing you because they want you to miss a detail. When you do the research, you're like, oh, wait a second. You said that this person was the one who had the longest tenure at your company and that they had been here for 10 years. But on LinkedIn, it says they've only been there for 3 years. Did I misunderstand something? It's like they're trying to mislead you so that you think something is better than it actually is. If you're buying a house, it could be the inspection wasn't really that great. It could be that they're, you know, rushing the closing. I think the average is usually about a month. We have the King of Cups and the Seven of Cups. You have options. You're this King of Cups. Someone wants to like get you to sign on the dotted line and everything's like done and completed. Maybe you're buying a car. But there's something else out there that's a better situation for you. The High Priestess. Six of Wands in the reverse. In the same spot that the other one was in too. Page of Wands in the reverse. They're just like something here was lied about. I don't know if they're going to try to pass it off as a typo or if they're going to say, oh gosh, you must have remembered that wrong. But we have someone who's trying to be a little bit shady here, trying to be a little bit, you know, oh, is that what it is? But they just don't want to be honest about the fact that they know that there's, you know, structural damage in the house, or that they know this team is not very sturdy, or, you know, there's been a lot of turnover. They're trying to get you to see all the good things and be excited about the good things and kind of gloss over the negatives or the drawbacks that would probably actually make you walk away from this. I do not remember. I record way too much. Oh, look, I have a witness. Untamed says he... I can't assume you're he, but we do have king in there, so I'm going to assume. Oh, Lord. Yes, that is what I'm referring to. It was just a few days ago. That's funny. Hello, Teresa. We're doing a general reading now, but I will do personal questions in about 20 minutes with priority to those who tip or donate. And you can also donate a membership to someone else if you'd like. That's funny. What else do we have? The Magician and the Eight of Swords in the reverse. So you're going to be able to figure this information out. What you need to do, or what this message is really trying to make sure you address, is if someone says something like trust but verify. Okay, thank you, but do you have like the documentation for it? Or thank you, do you have like a document on that, a portfolio? Do you have someone I could talk to about what it's like to work with that director, whatever it is? This is you doing due diligence to make sure that the house you're about to buy really had a great inspection. To make sure that you're not, buying something that's a lemon, There's protective energy here around you, trying to make sure that you don't fall into a situation that could be not good for you. I mean, we have the Page of Wands in the reverse, which, I mean, we could look at that as bad news, but I think it's more so saying there's a risk here that you see something as a better option than it actually is. If you were to ask some questions, if you were to dig a little bit deeper, you would say, you know what? I think I'm okay with waiting. I think I gotta see what else is out there, honestly. That's awesome. No, you're good. We have the Queen of Swords or Queen of Needles in the reverse and the Knight of Wands. We had the Queen of Swords in the reverse at the very beginning. I'm telling you, they're just hoping if you don't check on it, then you'll believe me and you'll sign that document and then I get what I want. Mwahahaha. I think he would probably sound a little bit different, right? Yeah, this is someone who's trying to scam you or trick you into something. They don't want to tell you what you're really signing. Page of Candles, Page of Wands in the reverse again. So even though they're shouting from the rooftop, even though they have a megaphone, even though they're trying to make it seem like I'm the expert on this, of course I know the truth, and of course I would tell you the truth. No, they wouldn't. They're deliberately misleading you or hoping that you don't notice something. Hello, Jax. Happy Black History Month to you, too. Did I say hello to Smiggles? I think I did. Ten of Needles or Ten of Swords in the reverse. Strength. And the 8 of Candles, 8 of Wands in the reverse. I think you're going to notice, hey, that's weird. It looks like your company is about to get purchased by someone else. Would that impact this location, or would that impact how you run this department? Hey, it looks like, you know, the foundation has a crack in it, and I noticed it wasn't in the inspection. Is there a reason for that? This is you pressing back on some information that doesn't seem to be backed up or validated, and it's an important piece of information. So when I was going through interviews for a corporate job, I would often ask, what is the average tenure and the size of the team that I would be joining, and the person who leads that team? Tell me how long they've been there. How much do they actually like it? Do they get along? Do they like how the company is run? Sometimes you have to get rather pointed with the questions that you ask in an interview situation. Yeah, they're trying to figure out if they want to hire you, but you're also trying to figure out if you want to work there, right? This is someone who's just like, let's just get you in the door. Let's just get you to sign that paper. And then you can deal with the fallout. You can deal with the realization that it wasn't really what I told you it was going to be. Hello, Samir. That is why I offer readings. The only thing I would tell you, Samir, is that the future is not like a photograph. Everything's already like in place. There are things that you do to influence, obviously, what actually happens. If you choose to move or not move, that's going to impact things, right? So sometimes when we ask questions about the future, it's like, if you do this, then here's where we end up. If you don't do this, it's a different ending, right? Hello, Red. How are you doing? The Magician, the King of Wands, and the Two of Potions, or Two of Cups. Yeah, it's important for you to stand up for yourself, to have standards, and to make sure that before you enter into any kind of agreement, it really does feel like this is about money or impacts your money somehow, or your living situation. You got to be cautious about it, because there's a risk here. Someone who feels like you can be taken advantage of and convinced that this is a good thing for you when it's really not. Thank you, Untamed. I do, in fact, appreciate the likes and subscribes. What else? Six of Swords, or Six of Needles in the reverse. The Moon, and the Eight of Wands, or Eight of Candles. Seven, excuse me. Things get worse in a short period of time if you accept this offer, and you could have avoided it. So my very first 2 months of home ownership, my furnace stopped working. And oh, by the way, it was November in Minnesota. It was cold. And I got introduced to the lovely reality of being a homeowner by having to go and buy a new furnace like a couple months in. And maybe the previous owners knew about it, maybe they didn't, it doesn't really matter. But that's what this is like. You show up, you have this new thing, and you're like, oh yay, this is awesome. And then you're reminded that there are responsibilities for that. There's a major change that happens within, maybe it's even as specific as 60 days. But there's something here that changes within this house or job offer, work opportunity. Maybe for some of you it's a relationship, but it really does seem more so outside of that. It changes, and I feel like somebody knows it's going to change. Like, we know we're getting rid of that department, or we know there's going to be a restructuring or a reorg. We just don't know what it's going to look like, because those guys are in charge. There's a shift that would be negative if you were having to be impacted by it. Let's see. This is the Meta Muse. I had to buy a new one. I don't know what was wrong with it though. That was so long ago. I mean, it was an older place. So I think it just was like, and I'm done. It's been real. Go get yourself a new furnace. But I had one room that I was staying in with the fireplace, and I hung a blanket across like the opening to the room because it wasn't just a door. It was like, you know, a wool blanket. And then I had like a space heater in there. And I was decorating my Christmas tree with mittens on. Hi, Janet. I'm happy to do personal questions at the end of the general reading, which is in a little over 10 minutes. Otherwise, I do offer private readings. If you'd like to email me, it's wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. So we've got Queen of Wands in the reverse, Queen of Swords in the reverse, Eight of Swords in reverse. This is a trickster. This is somebody who is used to like enticing people to say yes or to purchase something or, you know, sign on the dotted line, even though it is not a real thing. This could be someone who's trying to rent you something that they don't have legal rights to rent, or, you know, they don't fit what is required of it. Two of Pentacles. So save your money. Don't let this person rush you. Remain calm, do your research, and you'll figure out that there is a concern here, and I think you're able to sidestep it. I think you're able to say, there's a pothole, but I didn't fall into it. I swerved my bike around it, and everything is fine. You're able to avoid this disaster because you ask some questions, because you can tell this person is maybe being a little shifty, or you feel like something doesn't really add up the way that it should. Hello, Third Eye. How are you doing? Hey, Timed Out. My name is Carmen, if you were curious. So joining the Six of Cups, we've got the Ace of Wands and the Three of Cups in the reverse. Yeah, there's going to be another opportunity. You don't need to be settling for whatever this is. There's going to be another buyer, or there's going to be another house. There's going to be something else that is more legitimate than what you're currently looking at. So the advice is, go ahead, walk away. Yes. Hey, Timed Out. Let's make sure we're operating with being respectful towards people in the live chat, okay? Your username is a little bit of a red flag, so I'm going to be paying attention. We have the Seven of Pentacles. You would invest in this, and in a couple of weeks, in a couple of months, be like, why did I do that? That was a waste of my time. I probably could have been like working on something more important, you know? Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. I feel like that for many of you, this is work. You can make more money at a different place, or this place is going to potentially mess with your money, right? Hey, I'm not telling you you can't have a laugh, Timed Out. I'm just letting you know that there are rules if you care to have a laugh in my live chat. See how I've like set such a great ambiance, you know, some nice Christmas lights. Ooh, like the outdated globe. Just trying to make sure you don't mess with the vibe. That's all. Okay. Queen of Cups. So you have something to offer people, and you have something better that is going to come your way. Just make sure you're doing the like Socratic method, asking the questions that you need to in order to really understand what you're looking at, instead of just taking someone's word for it. And they'll probably get a little uncomfortable or flustered because they don't have the ability to actually back that up, do they? Thank you, Third Eye. This is What's the News? Bonnie and Clyde, Ride or Die, Us Against the World, Dedicated Partnership, and Dirty Money, Laundering, Steal, Illegal. Okay, so this is why you don't want to deal with this. This could be a house that has some, not so great connections as far as what has happened, if that's what you're looking to buy. If this is an employer, they could be breaking the law. There could be some issues where maybe they get sued and then they're not able to continue to function or stay in business. This is just letting you know, like, you got to make sure that what they're telling you is accurate, because they're hiding something that would otherwise indicate to you that it's probably best to just keep it moving. But they don't want you to know. It's true. What else do we have? Wine and dine, courtship, consistently dating, romance and passion. I feel like this is saying they're always trying to hire people. And now we have rebound. If this is a romantic thing, keep in mind this is someone who doesn't stay focused for very long. But I think this is, I'm going to wine and dine you. I'll take you out to a fancy restaurant, or I'll make it seem like this company's doing really well. I'll put on the show. It'll be, hard for you to decline if I make an offer. And then afterwards, you're going to realize that I was just putting on an act. I was just trying to make it look better than it actually was to make sure I got you in the door. Hello, Manjari. How are you doing? What else? Squad. Reconciliation, soul tribe, and close friends. So there's someone here who might be an expert with regards to this industry or this company or this process, maybe even buying a house. But I feel like there's someone here who says, no, I don't think that's right, and here's what we need to do. Here's what we should look into. So ask the right questions, get a little bit more information, and I think you'll realize what you need to do is wait for that next opportunity, or rather go out and find it, right? We'll go with the Gilded Reverie. Loss. This is what they're guiding you away from. There's an offer that is too good to be true, and you don't deserve to be caught up in that mess. You've already learned the lessons that you need to be able to recognize that this is not the deal that they want you to think it is. So when you see the truth, or when you have your suspicions, go verify or do what you can to double check it. I think you're going to realize, you know what, I think I need to remove my name from the running, or I think I've reassessed my interest and realized I need to probably go elsewhere. Gracias, Moto. ¿Cómo estás? Hello, Titanium. How are you doing? How's it going, MKG? Yeah. There's something better out there for you that is actually going to be a situation that improves your finances or helps you to learn something you need to, places you next to a mentor that will help you grow in ways that you need to with regards to that, or just, puts you in the right place as far as a neighborhood where maybe your puppy can have a nice little fenced-in backyard. That talks about loyalty, by the way. I feel like you would have a lack of loyalty in this situation, or you would be disappointed with how the offer actually worked out. You would feel like someone tricked you. But this other offer that's further down the line, this is something that you can actually trust or bank on. Hello, Shika. How are you doing? Hello, Janet. Or did I already say hello? I can't remember. So we've got the clock and the fish. Yes, this is exciting to get an offer, or exciting to know that some company is interested in moving you to that like final interview. But you've got to be cautious when people are rushing you on an important decision, because this is a sign for you that they don't want you to be able to figure out where the lie is. They don't want you to be able to research what they've tried to convince you is the truth. So don't let them control the narrative. Hello, Mark. How are you doing? What else do we have? Concern and change. They're nervous that if they don't lie about what they have to offer, that you're going to choose something else. So this is why they're trying to mislead you. They might be just a little bit desperate for you to be the one that signs on the dotted line. But you're a person of high honor. I don't think you would do well working among them, especially since we had the dirty money card come out. There could be somebody here who is implicated in like financial crimes, because they have maybe got some sort of addictive personality, or struggle to be honest with themselves about what's going on. So I absolutely feel like there's legal issues here. Poverty, courthouse, imprisonment. So this could be someone steals from the company that you were about to potentially work for, and then because of that money being tied up, they end up having to lay everybody off. It's kind of like a terminal job offer. Like, this will be good for a little while, and then, 6 weeks in, you're like, why am I here? Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Timed Out. I have a second channel in the description box for those of you that enjoy ad-free YouTube. It's not a monetized channel. I did that. Like, I don't want to grow it to the point where it gets monetized. I don't know. But it's just me reading from books. So we have marriage. I think we have someone who is dealing with a partner or a relationship that was stressing them out financially. So they felt like they could steal, or they felt like they could cheat. And if they broke the law, which it seems like they probably did, then there's going to be some consequences here, and that could impact your ability to actually be successful or even have a job in a couple months, especially if this is like the owner, right? So there's better stuff out there for you. You don't have to be going for this. Aw, I hope you can fix that or address that. What else do we have? Eight of Swords, King of Pentacles or King of Rupees in the reverse, the Emperor. Yeah, there's someone here who's bad with money, someone who has embezzled, or someone who's running the company into the ground, and they do everything they can to put up a facade that makes it seem like everything is going great. Of course, we're going to pay you on time, nothing to see here, but things are about to get bad. If this is a house situation, this is someone who's like painted over a foundation problem, or not willing to tell you about some quote they got for a fireplace issue. There is an issue they don't want to talk about, and they're hoping that they can just kind of like charm you, like, oh no, everything's perfect. perfect. You better go for it while you still can. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse and the Fool in the reverse. But to accept this offer would be foolish. You have some responsibility to do a little bit of research, you know? Hey, Nat Nat, how you doing? Hey, Marcus. How you doing? What else? We have the Devil. And the Eight of Rods or Eight of Wands. I'm going to say something during our interview to make it seem like this company is going places, or I'm going to make it seem like we had the right kind of inspection done so you don't have anything to worry about if you buy this house. You know, it's like the honeymoon phase and a dating thing, but I do feel like for the majority of you, this is a work situation. So don't believe their lies. Don't believe everything they say. If you go back around, take good notes. If you go back around and you check what they actually say, you'll find they're lying. Four of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles in the reverse. In particular, many of you would benefit from finding out why people quit. Why do people initially seem excited about this job and then they walk away? Knight of Pentacles or Knight of Rupees in the reverse. And the Page of Wands. Charismatic, passionate messenger. I think there's someone who would tell you what's really going on. I was almost about to take a job offer that would have been kind of a big deal. And I was kind of excited about it, even though I kind of felt like there was maybe some risk of personalities not necessarily getting along very well. The person who owned the business seemed to be very type A. And when I went in and interviewed with some of the other people who worked at that company and linked up with them on social media, I got a message from someone who was like, hey, I heard you're interviewing at such and such a place and wanted to tell you what my experience was working for that person. And I was like, oh, why do I have a feeling this is going to be a bomb? But I, you know, respectfully asked, yeah, sure, I would love to hear. What was it that you wanted to share? Oh, I sure hope so. And that warning that I got from her made it very clear that I needed to not pursue that job. Basically, you don't have a life if you work for this person. Are my brothers, nieces, and nephews gonna be okay living in Europe? All right, let's see what we can find out for you. We're already almost to 40 minutes. How did that happen? Let's see. We're going to use the Rider-Waite. And we're just going to dive right into those personal questions, okay, y'all? All right, what do we have for Marcus regarding the brothers, nephews, and nieces living in Europe? Are they going to be okay? Yes. Four of Wands and Temperance. What a great answer. This is like, of course, they're going to build a new foundation. It's going to be a peaceful time for them. Is it going to be perfect? No. Are there going to be challenges? Of course. There's going to be some adjustments, right? But with the Four of Wands and Temperance, this is like peaceful home or feeling like you're able to establish something that is very comfortable. Rebecca, thank you. Am I on the right path? I've added that for you. Thank you. So anything else for Marcus regarding the family living in Europe? I do feel like someone's going to lose something important. It could be a passport. It could be expensive. I do also feel like there's going to be a lot of adjusting or difficulty in not being able to see others in the family as easily. So a little bit of isolation, a little bit of culture shock, but it brings them closer together. Their family unit gets strengthened as a result of this, even as there is a sense of, I've had to sacrifice this or that changed, right? King of Swords. Seven of Swords. There is a risk of someone trying to take advantage of your brothers not knowing the systems over there. So is this like someone trying to scam them, like renting or moving stuff? So we have someone who seems to try to make things more difficult for your brothers multiple times. So this could be someone, it could even be someone here who doesn't want them to move, who, you know, I'm going to hide your passport from you. I'm going to hide your suitcase. Can't leave now, can you? But it could also be someone when they get there, not liking that they're American or that they're outsiders and trying to make their adjustment period more difficult, but they're going to be okay. Yeah, Nine of Cups. This will be the right move for them. So I hope it goes well. Let's see what we've got for Rebecca. Boys, we're not fighting out there, are we? Timed out. Quit picking on my friends. We talked about this. I'm pretty sure you said you was gonna be nice. So let me just, pretty please, will you stop being a twat? So Rebecca would like to know, am I on the right path? The World, you sure are. That's you. There's a lot of noise going on around you. There's a lot of things trying to get you distracted from what you're supposed to be focusing on. But everything that I'm seeing from these cards is that you have the right focus. Even if it feels like it's a little bit dark, you don't know what's going on, or you kind of have to make it up as you go, this is also you. So stay focused. Don't let people distract you. Wow, this is impressive. And you have the Hermit. Yes, this is because you're listening to your intuition and you're probably feeling more grounded than you have in the past. A lot of that has to do with making sure other people's opinions are not the driving force in your life. So I feel like that independent direction is guiding you well. Two of Swords. Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Two of Cups. The biggest call to action here is be decisive regarding a romantic interest. This could also be friendship, so keep that in mind. But this is saying if you know that you want someone, tell them. If you know that it's not going to work out, tell them. But you have to be communicative, otherwise it could cause some issues for you. So don't let this Two of Swords energy, which is like at a crossroads, last for too long. I think in your gut you know whether or not you want to be connected to this person, and you just kind of have to be like, okay, well, here it is. I really like you. I want to be like in a relationship. What say you? How you feeling? What you think? Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. Hello, Y, how are you doing? Hello, Vanessa. Thank you for liking. I appreciate it. Hello, Rachel. This is the personal questions. We've got the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands for like the old stuff? Ah, okay. So you might have some hesitation here regarding entering into a new relationship or being in the mind space where you can actually trust a new person because you have dealt with heartache and betrayal in the past. There's a risk here that you assume negative things about a person who might actually have good intentions towards you. So if you are kind of dealing with cold feet or you're not expressing interest or prioritizing this person in your schedule, you might miss out on a really great relationship. So yes, stay focused on the things that you've been working on. You've got some good things in the fryer, right? But like when you have this pull to a person and you're not sure whether or not to invest in it, ask yourself again, because I feel like you do know the answer, whether or not you're interested. Hey James, how you doing? All right. Where are we at? We're at 46 minutes. I'm going to pull a few cards for all of you. This is not a personal question. From the Voyage of the Soul deck. This is a deck that talks about spiritual awakening. So if we're looking for a little bit of guidance on what you should be focusing on, this might help. You're welcome, Rebecca. So we have joy, serotonin, rush, happiness, excitement, euphoria. Some of you are all work and no play. And I expect you to work on that. Energy, life force, chakras, Reiki, intangible, subtle, and crystals. Some of you need to take a closer look at the things that are around you or the people. But I feel like this is things. Maybe someone you don't like gifted you something. Maybe, you know, you've never really liked that one chair anyways. I feel like there's something here that you can do to change your environment that helps you to be in a better mood going forward. Maybe it's you made some new art and you should hang it up on the wall because you're proud of it. Dimensions, portals, astral travel, otherworldly, unseen, metaphysical, and tomorrow, begin again, continue ahead, better days and relief. So just know that you have gone through some sort of change in your life. It's going to start changing everything else around you. So if it feels like people showed up in the middle of the night while you were sleeping and painted your whole house and you can't figure out what happened, it's an ego death, okay? Ooh, Lord. 10 calls, 8 messages? Lord. I sure can, Lee, and thank you for the tip. Let me do that before I sign off. What are we going to use? We will use the Golden Girls. Y'all are funny. That's fair. I would still be confused, and also don't be choosing the paint colors without me. I'm very particular about my paint colors. All right. What does Lee need to know regarding these messages and calls? The High Priestess, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Is this because he's scared? Is he trying to control it? He's trying to control the situation. He feels like if he's like in your ear, if he's being obnoxious about it, then maybe you won't feel bold enough to do something your own way or say something he doesn't want you to say. I feel like he wants you to feel like his anger is very palpable. Therefore, you don't want to tell a secret of his. Ace of Cups in the reverse, Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Because he feels like you have the ability to make him lose something. Now, what's interesting is I have an ace with each of these pairs. Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups. And yeah, there's kind of this negative tension, negative energy here. He's trying to find a way to sabotage you. He's trying to find a way to like anticipate you having some dirt on him, being able to share that in a courtroom. He's trying to find a way to get dirt on you or access that enables him to feel like he can counterbalance that. This is saying just leave him on red, or if you are not by court required to respond, focus elsewhere. Turn your back. You don't need to be dealing with that. Fool in the reverse. He'll settle down for a short while eventually. Yeah, he's uppity, he's scared, he's nervous, but he also still feels like he can control the situation. Oh, that's so awesome, Rachel. Thank you for spreading the word. You're so sweet. Lee, I hope things improve for you. I'm so sorry you have to deal with a clown. All right, I'm gonna leave it there, you all. I love you. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Oh, I'm so glad. Hello, Kat. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for checking out my candles, and I'll